How to cast sole supports custom orthotics. Casting with sole supports requires a special foam box provided by Sole Supports. In this video, we will go over the Sole Supports casting technique in detail and review ways to ensure accuracy and repeatability. Let's first observe the casting technique at full speed. When done correctly, casting both feet takes less than 1 minute. Now let's go over this in detail, starting with the right foot. Seat your patient in a stationary chair and have them slide to the edge of the seat to allow their knees to move freely without obstruction. Orient the box so that the images of the feet on the inside flaps have the toes pointing towards you. It should match the patient's position. Notice the line on the box that creates a 1/2 inch margin between the medial side of the foot and the highest edge of the angled foam. This is where the foot will be placed to begin casting. Open the flap marked right foot. Place the foot a 1/2 inch from the highest edge of the foam, centered heel to toe. Slide the box along the ground until the knee sits directly above the ankle in both the sagittal and frontal planes. In other words, so that the leg makes a 90-degree angle to the floor. The knee should be directly above the ankle. Now rotate the box so that the foot is in alignment with the thigh. Next, we seat the heel. Place your right hand across the patient's knee with your fingers on the outside of the knee. This helps to stabilize the knee and keep it from tracking to either side. With your other hand, support the navicular to prevent the arch from falling. Now lower your right shoulder onto your hand, cupping the patient's knee so that you're using your own body weight in a gentle lunge to bottom out the heel in the foam. Note, the floor is your frame of reference. Each step of this technique pushes the foot's anatomy to the floor. Now we bottom out the head of the 5th metatarsal, which is the little toe. Place fingertips on the head of the 5th metatarsal and press vertically downward until it is fully bottomed out. This is done easily and takes very little motion. Next, we bottom out the tips of the toes. Simply place your thumbs across the patient's toenails, or just proximal if they are tender, and push downward so the tips of the toes are seated in the foam. This releases what is called the windlass effect, which is the tightening of the plantar fascia as the toes are dorsiflexed. Now we bottom out the 1st through the 4th metatarsal heads. Let's start with the 1st metatarsal, or big toe. When casting the right foot, use the right hand to hold the medial malleolus in place to support the arch. Then press the 1st metatarsal down towards the heel at a 45-degree angle. Be sure you press all the way to the floor. Now do the same with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th metatarsals, thrusting at the same 45-degree angle. Any padding can be used between the thumbs and the metatarsal heads if the patient experiences discomfort. The foam removed from the handle of the Sole Supports kneeler is perfect for applying pressure to the metatarsal heads. Next, double check that all metatarsal heads are completely bottomed out. Press again with your elbows straight like you're performing CPR. Now elevate the foot and check your cast. To check your cast, use any cone-shaped object, like the tip of a pen. Impress the foam in the center of the 1st and 5th metatarsal heads with the tip of the pen all the way to the cardboard. Do the same in the center of the heel. The heel and 1st metatarsal points should be almost the same diameter. If your pen holes are too wide or are not similar in size, carefully place the foot back in the foam and recast. Now prepare to do the exact same thing on the left foot, switching your hands. The geometry we just captured is this patient's unique mass posture. For more information, check out our other videos on orthotic design, shipping, and scanning. At Sole Supports, our goal is simple: to partner with healthcare providers to make people better.